Goes on being said, that quarterback conversation at Texas is a little more interesting than it was to begin the season. All right, we got some weird, and I mean weird stuff to talk about in tonight's video. I think I overhyped that a little bit. I don't even know why I said it's a weird situation, but hey, we're just gonna roll with it. No cuts, no edits, none of that. We're just gonna roll with the punches. By the way, shout out to me. You know I'm the best editor on the planet. We're gonna leave that in there. But we gotta talk about this insane and odd Quinn Ewers rumor, and also the quarterback situation with Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning. We're just going to get straight into this. I don't think you guys mind too much. This is the one and only topic we're going to be talking about. So yesterday, 24/7 Sports on Instagram posted this. And no, this isn't Photoshop. They posted this. It's now deleted. Breaking news in all caps. It's a picture of Quinn Ewers, as you can see right here. Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers will sit out the rest of the season to prepare for the NFL draft. Yeah. I saw that as soon as it was posted. I had a bunch of people sending it to me, and I didn't know what to make of it. It was one of those things where it's so unbelievable and it's so hard to fathom that you don't even want to believe it right away, and I didn't. Come to find out, apparently and allegedly, they were possibly hacked, or I don't even know what wound up happening, but they deleted it shortly after. But even though it got deleted, it still had people speculating, saying, well, wait a minute, what's going on? Is this true? Is Quinn Ewers actually sitting out? And what's going to happen? It even got so big that Quinn Ewers had to post a picture of Donald Trump on his Instagram that said, fake news. I think it wound up being a video that he posted, but I'm just showing you the screenshot of it. Point is, Quinn Ewers saying, yeah, it's not true. The rumors are false. And here was my first thoughts while all this was going on yesterday. That doesn't even make sense to me. It's not even like Quinn Ewers has been balling out this season, in which in that case and scenario it would make a little more sense. But if anything, he has hurt his draft stock this season, especially after that Georgia game. He is tainted. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you would know nobody loves Quinn Ewers and me, myself, and I had him as the #1 quarterback in the nation this year, above Shedeur Sanders. I was that high on him. I thought it was the real deal, and I still think he's a real good quarterback. I'm not going to give up on him, but boy, oh boy, was I wrong on how the season was going to go for him. Give credit to Georgia's defense, but future NFL stars, they don't play the way Quinn Ewers played against Georgia on Saturday night. He struggled in that game, but not only that game, he struggled against Oklahoma, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Y'all heard me. I said, well, it was his first game back in a month. He's got some rust. Let's just give him a pass for that one. But the way he played against Georgia, it's just hard for me to back him up anymore. I still like his game, but there's no excusing how he's played these past couple of weeks. Let me show you this before we go any farther. I'll just read it off word for word. A source close to Quinn Ewers tells On3 Sports that 24/7 Sports deleted Instagram post about the Texas quarterback sitting the rest of 2024 to prepare for the NFL draft is quote-unquote absolutely not true. So there we have it. If that doesn't confirm these rumors are false, I don't know what will. Getting a move on here though, and I was planning to talk about this yesterday, but we had some other topics going on. Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers and the Texas quarterback situation. If you pull up the box score, it is a very bad indicator of how the game actually went on Saturday. The box score tell you Quinn Ewers didn't play horrendous when, as a matter of fact, he did. 25 for 43, 211 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 1 INT, QBR 23.9. The QBR is a better indicator of how the night went. For the first time in my life watching Quinn Ewers play football at Texas, I thought he looked like a deer in headlights. And credit the Georgia defense. They caused him to look that way. Because how do you even get the phrase a deer in the headlights? First things first, you got to have the headlights. Well, the headlights in this analogy was the Georgia defense, and the deer was, Quinn Ewers. And we don't know the answer to this, but I kind of believe it didn't matter who that Georgia defense was faced on Saturday night, they were going to make them look bad. The Sarknado wound up panicking. He put in Arch Manning, and yeah, that didn't go too much better. And you'll notice Quinn Ewers on this box score only has 1 interception, but I'm here to tell you he should have had 4 or 5. He was throwing ducks the entire night. I don't know how Georgia dropped that many interceptions. I mean, they were hitting them in their hands. It was crazy to say the least. I mean, they had him clamped up. As far as it goes for Arch Manning, there's not too much to say. We don't have a great sample size. He only played in a couple series and didn't do much of anything. I still don't agree with putting Arch Manning in that ball game. I said it in the post-game reaction, and I'm saying it here again. Quinn Ewers was a Heisman candidate heading into the season, and he's been nothing short of fantastic for Texas in his career there. This wasn't a situation where Ewers has been struggling and he's been wishy-washy the past year or so. He's been your guy, and for you to bench him like that, I just didn't like it, and I didn't think it was going to help or anything. And guess what? it didn't help. Putting in Arch Manning was just wasting a couple of drives. I know Sarkisian said he just wanted to calm down Quinn Ewers, but nah, I don't agree with it. And that's all there is to it. If you agree with it, it is what it is. We can agree to disagree. I'll put it to you like this. As pathetic as Ewers played in that ball game, I still believed every time he touched the ball, he could make something great happen and he could lead Texas to a couple of touchdown drives. When you put Arch Manning in, no, I didn't believe for a split second he could lead Texas to a victory, especially down by 20. I believe in Quinn Ewers to pull off some magic and crazy plays, but Manning, no. And that Georgia defense, when they saw Manning go in there, they were licking their chops. That is the equivalent to fresh meat, and that's what it was. As the game continued to go on, Quinn Ewers, he didn't play much better. But here's the main reason why Texas lost, and I don't think it's getting brought up enough just because everybody's pointing to Quinn Ewers didn't play good. They had 27 carries for 29 yards. I'm going to say that again. 27 carries for 29 yards. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is 1.1 yards per carry. 1.1. It is extremely hard to play quarterback at any level when your offense has 29 rushing yards. Now, with all that being said, long story short, Georgia gave you a good old-fashioned butt whooping, and we'll clap it up to Georgia. Congratulations, great win, but I've already said all that. This is not a Georgia video, this is a Texas video. And speaking of Texas, where they go from here. That wasn't just a loss. That was I wouldn't say embarrassing, but a demoralizing loss. You didn't just lose the game, you didn't even compete. And guess what, Texas? You better wake up because you do not want to sleepwalk through this next game. You play Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. This is a top 25 team. We can sit up here and joke all we want about Vandy, but that 25 cent bar next to their name, that ain't a joke. They are a legit top 25 team, and you saw it firsthand in Alabama. If you walk in there and you take them for granted, they will beat you. As embarrassing as Alabama looked against Vandy and as embarrassing as they looked the past couple of weeks, this is not the same Vanderbilt team the past 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years that we've just come to know. This team can play, and their quarterback, Dylan Pavia, will put on a clinic if your defense doesn't show up either. But we're not here to talk about the Texas-Vanderbilt game. I'll do a separate preview for that. We're here to talk about who's going to be the quarterback or who should be the quarterback moving forward for Texas. Here's what your head coach, Steve Sarkisian, had to say about the quarterback situation, and I quote, "Quinn's our starting quarterback. I appreciate the fact that we're fortunate enough to have a backup like Arch that can come into the game and provide a spark in some sense, but at the end of the day, Quinn's our starter." Okay, so there you have it. No confusion there. Quinn Ewers is still the guy. But, and I have an extremely big but, you better believe this, just because he is the guy, just because Steve Sarkisian is named as not a head coach, but as the starting quarterback, does that mean he should be? I believe, yeah, he's your best option, and it's not too close for me. I know everybody wants Arch Manning to play because of his last name, and he's looked good at times, but he is not ready. And it's not even the fact that he's not ready. Quinn Ewers is just simply better than him at this moment in time. Not to say that Arch Manning in a couple of years won't be better than him in the NFL potentially, but as it stands right now, Ewers is the guy. But, and I have another big but, what if Ewers gets off to a rocky start against old Vandy? Vandy doesn't have a even good defense. I'd say on their best day, they're average. But what if Texas receives the kickoff, 3 and out? Vandy marches down and scores 7-0, and the next possession, let's just say you get a first down and then another punt. What do you do then? If Quinn Ewers and Texas offense has 2 or 3 possessions and they don't score, I think Steve Sarkisian will most certainly be thinking about putting in Arch Manning. And not only will he be thinking it, but I can guarantee you this much, the Texas fan base will be tweeting about it because they were tweeting about putting in Arch Manning before Sarkisian even did it. This fan base will not, and this isn't a slight against them at all, I respect it, they will not settle for average quarterback play. And if this offense isn't clicking on all cylinders, remember Sarkisian as offense head coach, they're going to want to see change. And let's not act like it's a crazy scenario for Texas to struggle in their first couple of drives and first half against Vandy because they struggled against Oklahoma and they struggled against Georgia. The best way to shut down this quarterback, I guess you'd say, situation is for Ewers in this offense to go out here and hang up half 100 and then everybody quit talking about it. But even if they win, and let's just say, hypothetically speaking for the sake of this video, it's Texas 27, or no, we'll say Texas 30 and Vandy 17, I still think fans would be uneasy. Texas fans do not care about that number 25 sitting beside Vanderbilt's name. They want to see a blowout. But more importantly, not even a blowout, I guess I should say this. They want to see that offense get back to clicking on all cylinders. I've seen Sarkisian and some other people talk about Quinn Ewers isn't exactly 100%, but it's football. At this point in the season, nobody's 100%. Maybe his injury is holding him back. I'm sure it is a little bit, but it doesn't matter. You got to go out there and perform either way. This offense has got to be better because against Georgia, they looked abysmal, and we can sit up here and praise Georgia's defense all we want. I think they look fantastic. But remember, that's the same defense that gave up 41 to Jalen Milroe in Alabama, and we've seen how they've looked the past few weeks. Goes on being said, that quarterback conversation at Texas is a little more interesting than it was to begin the season. That's all I got for y'all. I'm very curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But Roman